Hello, and welcome to Influential Thursday on the Joan Henry Show. While I wait for a few more folks to join in, I just want to hope that you've had a great week so far and you're looking forward to the weekend. I'm not sure where you're watching from, but I think I'm going to have snow where I'm broadcasting from, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right. It's a part of Mother Nature. So, again, I'm super excited about Influential Thursday. So, I will wait a few more minutes before I bring on my guest tonight because this is going to be an amazing show and I'm super, super excited to have the diva herself on the Joan Henry radio show this afternoon. So, for those of you who may or may not know, the Joan Henry show, it's Influential Thursday every Thursday night from at 8 p.m. Okay? Or I should say around 8 p.m. So, before I get into things, let me take time to ask you to visit my nonprofit website, which is risaforwomen.org. And if you would like to be a part of this group that I hosted the fourth Saturday of the month, it's about healthy relationships as it relates to self-love, dating, finances, and a whole lot more. I will put that information in the feed once I'm done, and you can check us out on the fourth Saturday of every month. So before I bring on my guest, let me give you tonight's mindset influential quote. And it comes from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And he says, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you have to do, you have to keep it moving. Again, whatever you do, you have to keep it moving. So ladies and gentlemen of Influential Thursday, I need for you to flood my timeline with nothing but love. See, I don't do likes, I do love. I want you to show my special guest tonight nothing but love. And it's none other than the wellness maven herself, Delayna Watkins. See, this is someone that I know personally. So I know Delayna. Now you are about to meet the fabulous Delayna. But who's better to tell you about Delayna than Delayna herself? So Delayna, welcome to Influential Thursday on the Joan Henry Show.
Absolutely. Good evening, Joan, and good evening, everyone out there joining us live. Thank you so much for having me on your show as a special guest this evening.
Okay, awesome. So to kick things off, who is Delayna?
Whoa, that's a whole mouthful right there. Like you said, you know me personally and who I show up to be both on social media as well as live and in person is just being such a very, very passionate person. And you know, my number one thing to be passionate about is health and wellness. My audience is women. So I am passionate about women's health and wellness. I show up in a big way. I make it very fun and creative. And I try to inspire women to change their health and wellness in a fun way. So that's who Delayna is. Registered nurse by profession, but I show up great in that area of helping women with their health and wellness.
Okay, awesome. So as you know, it's the beginning of the year. And in the new year, every year, as far as I can remember, most people always on the journey to becoming healthier.
Absolutely.
I'm one of those people too. But anyway, what would be your general approach to helping folks looking to take their wellness journey to another level? What would some of the ways that you would help them to reach that goal?
Absolutely. Well, just like you said, Joan, most people during as one year comes to a close and we're going into another year. So first thing we say is, I want to lose weight or I want to get healthy. And then all of the local gyms in the area are filled with people with on such high ambition to do just that. And I always say around this time, it's funny that you're bringing me live on the show, you will start to see that that number will start to dwindle. The gyms won't be as full because we're now at 16 days into the new year, and most people don't stick with anything longer than 21 days. So around this time, people start to lose steam, and that's because they end up going head first into something without a plan. And so my approach to that would be to do a neck up checkup first before I tell anyone to start any type of health or wellness or fitness journey. It is to do a neck up checkup. And what do I mean by that is to start with your what and your why. Why is it that you want to, go down a healthy path? Is it because your doctor told you that you needed to lose weight? Were you diagnosed as pre-diabetic, high blood pressure? Know your why, know where you are, and then have a plan. Not just to say, I want to lose weight. How much weight? What is your healthy body weight for your, your height and your gender? Know what it is that you're going after before you just kind of go in headlong, as I say, with no plan in place. That often leads to disappointment and failure because you've not been able to reach your goals, or you don't see any movement in the direction that you imagined yourself going. So I always stop and say, nope, don't sign up for a gym membership. Nope, don't do anything as far as any of that is concerned until you do a neck up checkup. Know your what and your why before you act and do.
Okay, awesome. So let me ask you, would you describe for my viewers some of the health concerns and challenges most women or just people in general are facing today?
Absolutely. So that goes back to the question and kind of like the area of discussion that I was just talking about. And that is obesity is probably one of the most biggest concerns right now that most Americans have. I mean, our obesity rate has pretty much tripled in the last century, really. And it's, due to a number of different things as far as food, sedentary lifestyle, and things of that nature. So obesity is number one. Number two is going to be diabetes or pre-diabetic. And then number three is going to be hypertension. Those three leading things are some of the health challenges that most Americans, women in general, are facing. And so when you look at that, it's what is it that we can do about it? How did we get here? And then what tools and resources do you have to combat that and to shift your trajectory around and really your outcome around those three things? So naturally, the obesity leads to them being predisposed to diabetes. And then the obesity also leads to them having hypertension. So the first thing that you really want to tackle is looking at the obesity and what led to it. What behaviors do they have? What habits are they currently exhibiting? And then try to work, your way back from that and help around in that area. So it's going to be those top three things, Joan. Unfortunately, obesity has just really wreaked havoc. A lot of times it's, things that we've done, things that we've been told are, good for us and that are safe for us and that we, indulge in or that we eat, only to find that it really is not, and that's going to lead me into talking about how a lot of our foods that we're consuming is just not healthy. And so when I look at those three things, it's a major concern for most people in America and most, women in general. But it's, a major concern. And it's very frustrating that we're, obese and that we try to do what we say is healthy only to find out, oftentimes what we think we're doing or the things that we think that we're consuming that's labeled as healthy really is not.
Okay, awesome. So I know that part of this wellness living that you promote, you are big
Mm-hmm.
on what's called sugarless living.
Yes.
So how do you personally define a sugarless lifestyle?
Right. So the sugarless lifestyle really came about, again, leading off of the whole obesity. Me working with clients or just kind of being in the health and wellness industry, seeing that, again, the frustration with individuals that have been trying to make changes around their eating, only to find that a lot of the foods that they were consuming that, again, was labeled as fat free, sugar free, and things of that nature that they were consuming as being healthy or approved, only to learn that it's really filled with sugar. And then not only just sugar, but toxic forms of artificial sweeteners. So I began to kind of do more research in that area and then develop the Sugarless Living program, because the sugar, to me, after doing that, Joan, I found that that really was the foundation, and really where people struggled is around sugar. It really is an addiction to sugar, but it's really unbeknownst to us. I hate using the word addiction, but it really is a craving that we have for sugar, and it's sort of no fault of our own because we're consuming it in things that we don't even realize that we're consuming it in. So when I developed the sugar-less lifestyle, not sugar-free, I am by no means sugar-free, but I am sugarless, and the sugar that I do consume is more healthy, or it's foods that have sugar by nature. So it's in its natural state of sugar. So that's part of the reason why I created the Sugarless Living program, was to really deal with that foundation of helping people understand and realize, reading nutritional labels, where they can find sugar, and then to understand what sugar does to you on a physiological as well as a psychological standpoint. So it's a whole journey that you're on. It's not one of those things where you say, you know, Joan, we see people say, well, let's do no sugar for 30 days. That's not what the Sugarless Living program is about. It's not a diet. It's not a challenge. It's a lifestyle. And so we don't just see how long you can go without consuming sugar. Instead, we just begin to make healthier choices around the sugar that we're consuming. And we are educated about where sugar is hidden and then what sugar does to your body. So it's a whole mindset shift. Again, that neck up, checkup, really knowing the why.
Because I do believe that there are a lot of folks who confuse sugarless with sugar free and
right. Mm-hmm.
all
We
that
do need,
stuff. But
absolutely. Yeah, we need sugar. Your body uses healthy forms of sugar to break down glucose, right? Which breaks down into glucose. And that is a fuel for our bodies. It's how we, you know, kind of get up, operate, think, move, all of that. So the healthy sugar is good for us. So I don't want you to avoid that. However, I do want you to avoid the toxic, refined, and processed sugars that are hidden in a lot of the foods that we consume, as we're being misled by the food industry, because it'll say sugar-free on the package, when in essence, it truly is not. It contains 3, sometimes 4 different types of sugar derivatives and sugar additives. So that's the part that I'm wanting people to be educated on. And I'm by no means trying to keep you from enjoying the things that you want to consume. I just want you to choose a healthier version of it. So the individuals that I have participating in my program, they're still indulging in, you know, the foods that they enjoy. They're just enjoying a healthier version of that particular food.
okay, so Delayna, like I said, I know you. So for those who are watching, I know her. So besides the fact that you are a registered nurse,
Yes.
um, as you know, we are in this what would you call it? In the wellness industry driven world. I'm just trying to
Absolutely.
come up with words
Yeah,
because,
you're
but you know
right.
what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, that's it. Yes. Very.
Everybody's doing this wellness, that wellness, everything
Mhm.
surrounding wellness. I mean, from all different handles. And like I said, besides the fact that you are a registered nurse,
Right.
how do you set yourself apart from the rest of the folks? How are you different from the other
Mhm.
folks in the industry?
Absolutely. So that's a good question, Joan. And how I really kind of set myself apart, again, in the introduction, I talked about how, you know, I was so passionate about it. So my passion really is what drives me. The other part of how I set myself apart is I don't do any cookie cutter, which is why it took me 2 years beta testing this program, tweaking it. It is not a cookie cutter program. It is a program that I developed, put into use, had some what I call my beta testers, got feedback from. And so I really, as an individual, work with my clients and work with anyone whom, even when I'm out doing presentations, nothing that I do is cookie cutter. So how I set myself apart in this industry is I don't chase trends. And so for me, it's about looking at what we truly are facing and then addressing it and attacking it from that avenue. So I don't just say, this is what, everyone else is doing. For instance, there was a lot of people in the industry that started going after the keto diet more recently, really without truly understanding the keto diet and understanding what all went into it and how it, became and what it is and what it was and who should and who shouldn't do it and the risks behind it and things of that nature. I never indulged. I never wavered from what I was doing. When the keto diet really took and kind of gained wings, as I say, I was in the midst of creating this Sugarless program and I never dropped it. I never, wavered. So for me to set myself apart in this industry, it is that I don't follow trends, that I look at what my clients are really facing truly and what they're capable and able to do. And I meet them where they are. So that's what sets me apart from
Okay.
others in the wellness industry.
Okay, awesome. So being in that industry and in the line of work that you do, what are some of the setbacks for folks who may want to try a healthy lifestyle?
Mm-hmm.
What are some of those setbacks that you personally come across?
So usually time is always a big factor. I find that time and knowledge, and then lastly, I'm going to say that it's going to be money. So those top three things will set people back or perceivably set them back as being, and sometimes I hate to use the word excuse because to them it's real. So what it takes, what a true coach would do is to help them see their way through that. And so the time management piece, we all know there's 24 hours in a day. And if you've heard me say this before, there's 24 hours in a day. I can't give you two and you can't borrow one. There's, that's all. So what can we do to change how you see what you're doing in that 24 hours that you have? What is it that you can do differently? So that's how I help them manage the time piece of it. The knowledge, again, knowledge is one of those things where it's, are you listening to the right people that are invested in you? As I said before, when you ask me how I set myself apart, I meet people where they are. Oftentimes clients can say, well, I know I'm supposed to do this and I know I should do that. They have the knowledge, but then followed with that becomes your action. So what is it that you're doing with what you know is the correct thing for you to be doing? So those two things really have to go hand in hand, and they have to go hand in hand at the same time. I can't talk to you about what it is that you should be doing and then not show you the way, grab your hand and take you and show you the correct way or the proper way for you to do it. And then the third thing is money. So again, money equates to wealth. And so we say WEALTH is wealth. And then I say WELLTH. So wealth, your wealth in your wellness is really what you should be, basing your currency on, because without that, all things really don't matter, right? And so I help them shift their mindset around what they consider not having enough money to invest in a wellness coach or a wellness program. I tell them you can't afford not to. So anything that you think is important to you really doesn't have any value if you're not healthy enough to exercise it, to embrace it, and to experience it. So when you're talking about, the money piece, it's just really helping them shift and think differently around the way they see themselves or way that they see money as it equates to their health and wellness.
Okay, so as you know, Delayna, entrepreneurship, being an entrepreneur, it's way different from working for someone else because
Absolutely.
it's a whole different ball game when you have to be your own secretary, your own boss, your own everything,
Yes.
right? And oftentimes you will find where that person, that entrepreneur is so busy that they tell themselves that they have no time to exercise, no time to follow any sort of regimen that is, of course, beneficial to them.
Correct.
Now, my philosophy is that you cannot run a business from a hospital bed.
Absolutely.
That's my favorite line.
Yep.
Now, what would you say to someone who's listening or who will be listening to the replay, who's an entrepreneur, but they may find themselves reluctant in getting the proper health, needs met that they really do need in order to maintain, in order to continue with their business. What do you have for entrepreneurs?
I always put it in perspective like this when I'm doing presentations to entrepreneurs or business people. I say to them, when you are working for someone else, a company or corporation, and they afford you the ability to have what we call PTO, right? Or paid time off because you're sick. You're being reimbursed for the time that you're not feeling well. When you are an entrepreneur, like you said, you can't run your business from a hospital bed. You are your business. So you have to make sure at all times that you are well. Your company wouldn't hire you if they felt that you were a health risk to them, which is why most often when you're applying for a job, you go in for some type of physical, or they want to know what your physical condition is. They don't want to lose money on their investment, right? It's return on investment. You are your investment as an entrepreneur. So not only should your fiscal plan be written out, but your physical plan should be written out as well. Include you in your entrepreneurial business plan. You are the creative brand or behind what it is that you're doing. So you have to be creative at all times. And in order to be that, to be able to function at your optimum capacity, you must be well. And so again, as I said before, when I was talking about the 3 challenges that people have, when you talk about money, you must invest in yourself. There's ways that if you are working as an entrepreneur from home, that you can creatively make certain that you're eating the proper foods, that you are taking breaks and walking away from your computer, walking away from your desk, doing exercises at your desk, taking what I call a commercial break to walk away and refresh and renew your mind, as well as get in some exercise. So again, as an entrepreneur, when you think about it, you are your business. So invest in yourself and make certain that you're making healthy decisions as it relates to your health.
Okay, so the big $1 million question is, what's next for Delayna?
Oh, lots. So that's a good question. So my partner and I, Cherie Good, we came up with this being the year of the well woman. And so we're now currently in the process of creating events around that theme for this year, the year of the well woman. So we have the Women's Wellness Lounge, which Joan, I know you're very familiar with.
Yes.
So in March 28th, 2020, we are doing a live event in the Women's Wellness Lounge. And it's going to be during Women's History Month in March. I always do this event during that time because as we are shining the light on women and uplifting women, again, we have to make sure that we're keeping our health and wellness and creating healthy legacies around that. So we'll be doing a wellness legacy event on March 28th. And of course, follow me on social media for more information on that, or visit DelainaWatkins.com to learn more about that. And then our wellness event called the Well Woman Conference will be in May, and that will be during Women's Health Week. And so that begins on Mother's Day and it runs that entire week. That's always every year, Women's Health Week. So those are the main things that I have coming up. And then just a soft launch, and I'll give all of your listeners out there and your viewers some insight on my virtual membership. So again, as I said, if you do not want a cookie cutter program, if you're looking for someone that can help you, and as I said, meet you where you are, hold your hand and help you through that process of getting a wellness regimen. In March as well, we will be launching the She Is Well virtual wellness community. So those are the 3 big things that I have coming up. And again, follow me on social media or visit DelainaWatkins.com.
Right. And so I know that you promote the health aspect, of women and men, and, just try to help people to live a overall
Absolutely.
healthier lifestyle. But you are also the kind of person that, in addition to that, you help to see other women, just take their business,
Yes,
their career to a whole nother level. So in as much as what I'm about to ask you is not really health related,
right,
but to some degree, they kind of go hand in hand.
they do.
Now, you've also launched this new initiative with the Promote Her event. Do you want to drop a snippet about that?
I do. So shifting gears,
Okay.
because even though we, kind of weaved in there, as I said before, wellness is my passion, but I'm also a entrepreneur and a businesswoman. And so I am the DMV chapter leader of Promote Her. It is a national organization, and we have meetings here in the Maryland area every third Monday at 7 p.m. And if you want more information about that meeting, you again follow me on social media or visit DelaynaWatkins.com. Our next meeting is coming up on January the 20th at 7 p.m. And this meeting will be held at the Wegmans on McHugh Drive in Lanham. Normally, our meetings are held at one of our members' businesses, Melissa Ferguson, at Heart Moves Center in District Heights. So this Monday, on Martin Luther King Day, we'll be at Wegmans at 7 p.m. So come by. Your first meeting is free, and it's a meeting where, again, Promote Her, hence the name. We are, again, are establishing a community not only here of business women, but you will have access to women nationally and internationally because of the organization. We have over 60 chapters. And so being connected to us affords you the ability to promote yourself, your business, or get resources that you require for your business to scale and grow.
Okay, awesome. So before we wrap things up, do you want to close things out with three healthy tips for my viewers?
Absolutely. I do.
Of course.
So I'm going to give you three easy things, and it doesn't even involve going to the gym. Everybody always thinks that I'm going to tell them to do, a squat or a push-up or a plank. I'm not. Those are important. But again, three easy things that you can do right here today, like a call to action would be to make sure that we are hydrating. We don't drink enough water. I'm going to include myself. There are days when, if I'm super busy, I have to remember to drink my water. So happily hydrate. Make sure that you are hydrating. You would be surprised that when you hydrate properly and you drink water, that you also are less, feel like the need to eat and snack and what I call, kind of do the whole mindless eating. So make sure you hydrate. Sleep. As busy people, we do not get enough sleep. So make sure that you are getting 7 to 8 hours of restful sleep, not just going to sleep, but I mean actively resting and sleep. So if you wake up tired, then you're not getting good quality restful sleep. And the third thing, Joan, believe it or not, what I'm going to say is make sure that you're eating nutritious food and not sugar-filled food. Sugar-filled food, again, does nothing but cause us inflammation. It just makes you even more hungrier. And all you do, because you're not eating nutritious quality food, and because the food is, again, not of a raw, clean, and whole nature, you look for more of it because it's not satiating to you. So believe it or not, if you switch to a more cleaner diet, you will notice that you eat less because your food is more nutritious. So hydrate, sleep, and then eat nutritious food. See that? I didn't even say go to the gym. Top three.
Okay, so tell us again how we can find you and follow you.
Absolutely. So across all social medias, Facebook and Instagram, I'm at Delayna Watkins. And then my website is DelaynaWatkins.com. And also, I launched my YouTube channel, so make sure you follow me on YouTube. You can just search for Delayna Watkins, the Wellness Maven, and you can follow me on there. So I share at least 1 to 2 videos every week. They're quick, they're easy, looks. You're kind of on there getting something good and going on about your day.
Awesome. So Delayna, I thank you so much for joining me tonight on Influential Thursday. And I am quite sure that somewhere towards the middle or the end of the year, I'm going to have you back.
Absolutely. You know
absolutely.
it, Joan.
You know that. You know that. Yes. So okay, viewers, I need for you to follow Delayna. And once you're done, Delayna, you could drop a few websites or whatever in the feed so that people can have quick access to linking up with you. Okay. So I'm inviting my guests, of course, to tune in next week, same time, same platform. And my special guest next week will be Miss Eileen Gillis, the GSA Maven. and she will be sharing about the
Ooh.
GSA contract, GSA schedule prep, GSA modification, GSA certification, and much more. So if you're into finding out more about GSA, then next week is the week for that. Well, when she'll be here with me on Influential Thursday. But viewers, I personally urge you to put in the work to make your dream or your
Absolutely.
goal a reality. Because see, like I always said, it takes both rain and sunshine to build a rainbow.
Absolutely.
It takes both rain and sunshine to build a rainbow. You got to put in that work. If it is to live a healthier lifestyle, you got to eat the right foods. You got to follow the Wellness Maven. You got to do the
Absolutely.
things that you need to do. If it's whatever it is, you just got to put in the work to make it a success, because it's not going to happen just because you think about it. No, you will have to put in the work to make it happen, because again, it takes both rain and sunshine, two things that are yet so different, to come up with something yet so beautiful. But it takes both rain and sunshine to build a rainbow. Nobody said that anything was going to be easy, but if you put
Absolutely.
in the work, it can happen, and it will happen.
That's
Okay.
that action.
So,
Yep.
okay. So once again, Delana, thank you for joining me. Thank you to all of the
You're
viewers.
welcome.
Please share this recording. If you're listening to the replay, just know that I appreciate you. Delana appreciates you just as much
Yes. Thank
as those
you.
who listened live tonight. Thank you to all of my folks who are listening locally and internationally, especially my folks in Jamaica. I tell you, Delana, Jamaica represents
Jamaica.
on my
Yay.
Influential Thursday. Yes, they do.
Absolutely. They show up
And,
for Jamaican Joan. Thank you, Jamaica Joan,
and
for
not just
having me.
Jamaica, but Clarendon, Jamaica, hometown.
Oh,
Yeah, they
hometown.
represent big time. So
Yes.
shout out to all my folks in Clarendon, Jamaica, West Indies. Thank you for always tuning in. So this has been Influential Thursday with Jamaican Joan and Delana K. So until next time, I need you to meet me here next week, same time, same network, and check out my guests for next week. But you enjoy the weekend. And again, until next time, now you take care. And guess what? Make this $1 million day. Jamaican Joan